The Weekly Warp Pipe.
What's up, guys? Welcome to the Weekly Warp Pipe Podcast, a podcast dedicated to retro video games, 80s and 90s toys, and all things nostalgia. We are part of the Dorkening Podcast Network, and we're brought to you by Deadly Grounds Coffee. Coffee to die for. And this week, we're jumping into the Warp Pipe and going back and taking a look at 2022 as a year. The best of. This is our last episode of 2022, so we thought it'd be a fun idea to look back and see what games we played, movies, music, and we're going to do a fun thing and even go further into the Warp Pipe and check out what those top things were in 1992 and 1982. It's going to be a great episode. Thank you so much, everyone, for checking out the Weekly Warp Pipe this year and making it such a fun success. And we cannot wait to do more episodes for you guys for 2023. Be sure to check out theweeklywarpipe.com for all your episodes, merch, and news. And before we kick things off, here's a quick word from our sponsor.
Rise and shine, my sinners. When Father Evil starts his day, he gets a little deadly. Deadly Grounds Coffee has the richest, smoothest flavor you'll find anywhere. It's sinfully delicious. Once you go deadly, you never go back. Order yours at getdeadly.com. Coffee's so good, it's scary.
What's up, guys? I'm RussLyman.
What's up, guys? It's me, your boy, NES Addict.
And welcome back to the Weekly Warp Pipe, the last episode of the year. We can start season 2 because I don't know how seasons work. So I guess each season will be a year.
There you go. It's a long season.
I guess, unless we take a summer break. Who knows?
We'll see. Only time will tell what the Weekly Warp Pipe has in store.
This is episode 38. We made 38 episodes when Jay was like, "Hey, Russ, you want to do a podcast together?"
Yeah. I mean, I just missed the other podcast that was happening, and I was like, shoot.
You're like, I got some free time.
Yeah, exactly. I got a Wednesday night for you.
And I said, sure, let's do it. And yeah, it's been going good so far. I think we accomplished a lot for being a podcast of basically 38 weeks. We haven't missed 1 week yet. And we signed up with a podcast network, the Dorkening Podcast Network. So hopefully in 2023, they'll help us grow even more and meet a lot of new people on there.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, so we wanted to, essentially, we're not jumping in the Warp Pipe and going back too far because we're just checking out this past year. We did kind of a best of list. It's like 5 questions on there. Me and Jay made separate lists, and we'll see what our best of is. But I thought it'd be fun, too, to actually jump in the Warp Pipe and go back. And we did 1982 and 1992 since we're in 2022. And we got the best of in those years as well. So we'll discuss those. It'd be kind of fun.
Oh, I clearly did not read further down the list.
No, I mean that you don't have to choose anything for that. That's just of that year. What was like the best movie?
Oh, good. Okay, good. Okay. I've already failed one assignment tonight. If I failed 2, you might have to trade me in.
That's it. So we did a couple ones to start off with. We did the best video game we played in 2022. We did for the list. I don't know with Jay, but I tried to keep most of the stuff that came out in 2022, but it's not mandatory. It's just maybe you experienced this game for the first time in 2022 or heard this music track or watched a movie or whatever.
I think, yeah. Sorry, I just kicked my camera. I think a few of mine are a bit older, but for the most part, I tried to stay within that year.
Well, we are retro souls, so we played a lot of NES games, and those games came out a while ago.
That's true. Yeah, I didn't put any NES games on there. Spoiler alert, because I figured that was just too much of a gimme.
Yeah, we talked about NES games enough on the podcast.
That's right.
So the one that I chose on my list came out a little bit later in the year, and I was anticipating it because I seen it in, I think, Nintendo Force magazine had a little blurb on it, and I was like, what? This is coming out? No way. Ghostbusters Spirits Unleashed, a multiplayer online game where you can play as a Ghostbuster and or a ghost.
Ooh.
Yeah, so it's pretty fun. It drops you in to a random spot. I think there's 4 spots you can play, and either you're going to be a Ghostbuster or you'll be a ghost. And you can customize your character. And there is a story that revolves around it, and it actually does take place after the Ghostbuster movie that had just come out. So I haven't completed the story yet, but it was fun jumping in and playing with a few friends and customizing your character. You really like make him look like you. And I had like, it was perfect. He had like a black backwards cap. You can do like red glasses. And I actually have like a Halloween costume that's a Ghostbuster like jumpsuit.
Yeah.
So I live streamed it and like dressed like my Ghostbuster that's in the game.
That's
so
cool.
It looked pretty fun. And yeah, you know, I haven't bought a PlayStation 4 game in quite some time, and it came out on PS4, so I picked it up for that and been having at it for a little bit. Haven't played it in maybe 2 weeks or so because it's been busy at work, but I'll definitely get back into it.
What's it like being the ghost?
So with the ghost, you're basically going around so there's a hotel. We'll just say that. So you're in a hotel, and you can like haunt objects. You could go into objects and be like a cart that's like floating around or whatever. But your object is like to scare the people that are in the hotel,
right?
And the Ghostbusters are coming after you. And there's these rifts that are to the afterlife. So if you are killed, you come back out of one of these rifts. But as a Ghostbuster, you're trying to destroy the rifts so you can't come back anymore, essentially. And there's a timer and a meter of how haunted the place is. So some of the matches, if the people are really good, they can knock the ghost out super fast and win the match. Every time I was the ghost, I like lost the match. Like I didn't win. I always got captured.
It's too hard to be a ghost.
But there's a couple different ghosts you can be, and you can customize like their colors and this and that. You know, there's Slimer, but there's also other like creepy looking ghosts. And, you know, I hope there's more updates in the future to it, just so it doesn't get stale.
I like that you get that like alternate look though. Kind of reminds me of the Jurassic Park game on the Sega Genesis, because you could be, you know, Grant or like a raptor.
Right, where they give you best of both worlds.
Yeah, that's cool. I like that.
I'm sure it borrowed heavily from like a lot of these games started coming out once the Friday the 13th game came out, where you play as Jason and or camp counselor and survive the match.
Oh, I didn't know that came out either.
Yeah, that came out a few years ago. It's on Switch and PS4 and all that. And they actually you can do NES Jason like color scheme.
Oh, that's cool. I like that.
So that one's fun. And then they came out with like a Predator game where you could be a Predator or like the Army guys or whatever. So it's a new style that people are adapting to.
Cool.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Or what did you choose, Jay? Best game?
So last Christmas, I purchased Metroid Dread. And
Nice.
I started playing it, you know, late 2001, but definitely into 2002. I need to finish it. I got stuck in this one part and, you know, haven't picked it up since. But I loved Metroid Dread. It kind of gave me the feeling. I was always kind of jealous that I didn't get into the first Metroid or Super Metroid.
Okay.
When they came out.
Yeah.
So this was like the first Metroid game I ever bought, as it was like a current game.
Gotcha.
And it kind of gave me that feeling like, oh, this might be kind of how it felt to have played Super Metroid for the first time, you know?
Right. And they wanted to try to capture, I guess, that with the newcomers on.
And I think they played a lot of homage to the old Metroids, and the graphics were cool and the gameplay was fun. The Emmys freaked me out. Every time I hear that weird music in their little zones.
Yeah.
I'm like stressed out, you know? So not a game that came out in 2022. I honestly don't think that I bought a new game in 2022. I guess I bought my son Kirby's Forgotten Land, but
I was going to bring that up. Technically, you bought that, but you're not playing it.
Yeah, but I'm not playing it. So, but yeah, so I thought Metroid Dread kind of hit close enough, and really cool game.
Excellent. Well, we'll get back into it. And be sure to complete it.
Maybe over the Christmas holiday.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's on the Switch. So you can take it on the go and be able to beat it.
That's it.
Sweet. All right, moving on to the next one was the best movie you watched in 2022. And I chose The Batman with Robert Pattinson. Yeah, this was a different direction. Obviously, it's a new Batman. It wasn't um, Ben Affleck, Robert Pattinson from the Twilight series, where he's most known from. So a lot of people were like, "What? He's playing Batman? It's going to be terrible." I'm like, "Well, that's what they said," but like every Batman, I think.
Probably so.
Right. So, it was a long movie, but it didn't feel like it dragged on when I went to go see it in the theaters. I was, intrigued and like, what's going to happen? The Riddler's the bad guy, and you're trying to find out all the clues and what's going to happen. And I was like, okay, and it had that dark and gritty atmosphere.
I think it's on Hulu or HBO or something. I started watching it a couple months ago, and I got interrupted, so I never finished it. But it looked cool enough. I'll probably go back and finish it.
Nice. Yeah, give it a go for sure. It's a good one. And I'm a big Batman fan, so I'm like, I'll check it out. Check it out if it's a Batman movie.
Yep, I can understand that. I saw 3 new movies in the year of 2022.
Okay.
I'll start with the ones that I'm not listing. I saw the Sonic 2 movie.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
That was enjoyable. I saw the new Jurassic World Dominion.
Okay, I did not see that.
I like Jurassic Park movies because I can kind of take them with a grain of salt, but I still thought that one was disappointing.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Not quite what I wanted.
Gotcha.
Or at least what I envisioned.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last movie that unless I'm mistaken, this came out in 2022, right? The Ghostbusters Afterlife movie.
I'm not positive, but
I feel like we watched it last spring. Anyway, I don't want to give any spoilers for those of you that might not have seen it.
Okay, yeah.
But they once again play a lot of homage to the old Ghostbusters movies.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
The little girl that was like Egon's relative. I thought she did a really good job. It was a great movie. I took my kids to see it. A little bit scary at the beginning, maybe for kids. My wife was giving me this look like you thought this was a smart idea to bring our 6-year-old to.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was like, I saw Ghostbusters as a kid. It'll be fine,
Right.
But yeah, so Ghostbusters Afterlife, I thought it was a good one. So 2022, that one's that's my choice.
Yeah, I'd say David Apuzzo really enjoyed that one too, and I'm sure he showed his daughter Kylie it because she was all about Ghostbusters. He got her so many toys, and her birthday party, I know last year she had a Ghostbuster cake. So
yeah, for last Christmas, I got my son the Firehouse, and then the Kenner Ghostbusters toys they re-released.
That's right,
and a couple of the Ghost. And man, I thought he was gonna like eat that thing up and play with it all the time. It's weird to me that like a playset that cool, he doesn't. I think he's played with it twice.
Ah, blast!
So disappointing.
Yeah,
you're not my son. Just kidding.
Disowned. Next one we got best TV series you watched. Me and my wife certainly watched a few TV series, and one that stood out was the Dahmer Monster, the Jeffrey Dahmer story on Netflix.
Great choice. I forgot that I watched that.
Yeah, the actor that portrays him, I didn't put his name down, but he was fantastic because we have watched him in American Horror Story, and he portrays a few serial killers on that series as well, and he just did such a good job at depicting him with his mannerisms and everything, and such a an intriguing story. I knew kind of what happened with the whole Jeffrey Dahmer thing, but I didn't know that deeper into it. We had watched that, and then there was a like a true life documentary that was like 3 episodes that we watched after that to kind of get some other details. Like, all right, where do they stretch the truth some to make this a little bit more?
Yeah, I deep dove into that too. That was an amazing choice, actually. And I want to ask you a question. And the chances that you have the same answer as me are probably like 1,000,000 to 1. But this is a social experiment I'm playing here. Was there a particular scene in the movie where you thought, and it's a very subtle scene, if I'm being honest, but like that you thought he just like man, like it just, I swear it's him. I swear it's really Jeffrey Dahmer I'm looking at here.
Oh, you're saying like it was convinced like the actor
Yeah.
was him there.
Yeah. And you can, and
Acrylic-
one could argue, I'll throw you a bone here. One could argue the whole show is kind of like that.
right. Oh yeah. I mean, like I said, he got his mannerisms down and everything with that. A certain scene that stands out. I don't think a scene to me personally stands out. The only scene to me that stands out was the scene where he went over to his neighbor's apartment and was offering her a sandwich.
Oh yeah, that was wild. He's
And
like,
I'm
"Come
like,
on, eat it."
is
I'm just
she
being
gonna eat it?
nice.
Oh my god, please don't eat this.
I know. Yeah, please don't. That's crazy. And I would love to know if he really offered his neighbor a sandwich that he made meat with.
Right.
People. There was this one scene in it was after his trial. He's already in jail.
Okay.
And he's got a mop and a broom and he's just mopping up.
Yep.
And the guy's like, Dahmer, come on, like hurry up. And there's a TV with his dad, like on like Maury Povich or something.
Yes.
And he's like, it's my dad. What do you want me to do? You know what I mean? Like he's watching his dad. And I just thought that was so, I don't know why that simple, subtle scene. And I was like, man, it's like, it really is like Jeffrey Dahmer. It's like,
yeah, right. It's awkward. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Very intriguing. For me, it was the Kardashians.
Yeah.
No, I'm joking.
I'm like out of left field.
I had to throw you off because, see, for those of you that don't know, Russ gave me strict instructions on this Google Doc. It says, copy this form and make a new document so that you can fill it out with your answers. You could do things that were in 2022 or just happen to watch Play or See this year. I completely ignored that and wrote on the main document. And so when Russ pulled it up, he saw my answers.
I wanted to be a little bit more surprised, but
so sorry, Russ. But anyway, my wife and I got Hulu for the first time this year. I don't remember why. Something she wanted to watch on there.
Yeah.
But I found the Goldbergs on there. And
oh, nice.
I have season 1 of the Goldbergs, but I didn't have like all the seasons. And for those of you that don't know, it's like Adam Goldberg talks about I think he was born like 76 or 75, 76. Mm-hmm. Anyway, he was like that perfect age to be born in the 70s to where he remembers like all of the 80s.
Gotcha.
And it takes place in the 80s and you're always seeing like Nintendo stuff, like he's playing Zelda. There's like Star Wars stuff.
I was going to say, fun short fact, my friend Joe Granado, who makes video games, he's the maker of NES Maker, where you can make your own games, and he's working on a new game called Mystic Searches, and I believe Mystic Searches made it into an episode of the Goldbergs.
Nice.
Like on the TV screen where he's playing Nintendo.
That's awesome.
Also, side note quick, I think your autofocus is out of whack, Jay.
Yeah, you know that thing that my camera cuts off? I touched it a minute ago.
There
so that's
you look good now. You look crisp. Okay. Back to the Goldbergs.
But yeah, and so like they're talking about GoBots, they're talking about Transformers, just different 80s stuff, you know.
Nice. Yeah, I'd never seen it. I'd probably definitely be into it. I don't know if the wife would be. Did your wife watch it with you or?
She thinks it's pretty funny. It's humorous. It's like oh man, it's got like elements of like that
70s show, I guess.
My God, you Russ, you read my mind. Yeah, like I was thinking like the 70s show, but like meets like Boy Meets World, but meets like I don't know. It's better than those though.
Okay.
It's good. It's got its own unique thing, but the older brother's really funny. The sister, the dad, it's got all the tropes in it that you would see in a typical like family like comedy like that. But
yeah,
it's great. If you haven't seen it, check it out. At least watch a couple episodes.
Next one we got is the best pickups of 2022. Well, one pickup we're choosing.
There you go.
I did a video on this, of course. This was on, I think I put it on my main channel, on RussLyman channel, but I actually ended up picking up a full Virtual Boy set, all the games and the system. And the system was in the box.
Very cool. Yeah, I know. Like, I had a feeling that might be yours because that was like your biggest pickup of the year.
Yeah, I was slowly getting all the games. I had probably 8 games. I set a goal maybe 2 years ago or something like, all right, I'm going to do a full Virtual Boy set. Excuse me, jeez. Because I feel it's the smallest Nintendo set to complete.
Absolutely.
So I was like, okay, I can definitely do this. And a few of the games, there's like 3 games that are really expensive.
It's like Jack Bros, Waterworld, and something else.
And what was the other one? I don't think Nestor's Funky Bowling was that expensive. I can't remember one of the last ones. But yeah, Jack Bros and Waterworld are definitely the heavy hitters.
Yeah.
And someone made a post on Facebook Marketplace, and I was like, I'll send him a message. And we went back and forth a little bit. And he's like, I can meet here. And I had some money saved up from selling stuff on Etsy, maybe some YouTube videos. And I was like, you know what? Let me see if I can do this. Talk to the wife. Say, I'm going to make this purchase. Just to let you know. So she said, that's fine, So yeah, we made a video, met up with them, and it got all the games, and they had all the instruction booklets as well with them. So the Jack Bros instruction booklet alone is like $400 or something.
That's crazy
for paper. And the game itself, I think, is like $800. So
can you say what you spent on it?
I think it was, like 15 or 1,600.
That's not bad.
I want to say it was over 1,000, but under $2,000.
I think the game, the Virtual Boy in the box alone is like $600 to $800 alone.
Yeah, I was pricing everything out. He priced it from like price charting and this, and he did like 10 or 20% less. And I drove maybe an hour to meet him. I actually brought a briefcase with money in it.
That's amazing.
So I could have a cool thumbnail and it look neat in the video.
That's funny.
So
that's pretty funny.
That's my pickup.
That's a good one. Mine was this sign you see behind me. For those of you watching YouTube, it is a World of Nintendo KB Toy Store
display
fiber optic toy store sign. Yep.
Yeah.
So it's pretty unbelievable. I can't believe I got it. I found it local here.
Yeah, at a Goodwill.
At a Miracle Hill store.
Oh, that wasn't a Goodwill.
And Pac-Man Case and Retro Wolf went with me to get it. They just happened to be in town. Well, I mean, I guess Pac-Man Case is always in town, but Retro Wolf just happened to be here. And drove over there. My buddy called me. He's like, dude, you're never going to believe what just came into the thrift store. And he sent me the picture. And I instantly lost my mind. I start messaging Retro Rick, and I'm like, dude, I might have to sell you that Wii U kiosk after all. Depending on what they want for this thing, because I'm thinking, he's going to throw off like a crazy. I thought like $500 to $1,000 they might want for it.
Right.
I got it for $50.
Now it was marked right at 100.
It was marked at 100. Thank you for reminding me. And the guy said, "Hey, do you have a 50% off coupon?" I said, "I do." He said, "You can use it." $50.
Oh,
it's like an $8,000 item.
I was gonna say, yeah, estimated value. You don't see, and for all the fiber optics to work, it's like,
yeah, it was
amazing.
The only thing I had to get, which I got with oh my gosh, what's the guy's name? He has a YouTube channel, Collector's Luck.
Okay.
He is a big collector of fiber optic signs, and he got in touch with me. And he was like, yeah, you just need this light bulb. You can get it from Lowe's or Home Depot, and pop it in, and bam.
Good to go.
Because when I first turned it on and nothing happened, I was kind of bummed. It's like, oh.
You're like, shoot, what is it going to cost to fix this?
Yeah, but it was just a light bulb, like $12.
There you go.
Very cool.
Moving on to best music album you listened to in 2022. You can probably just get this if you have Spotify because it tracks all your music. But mine was State Champs, Kings of the New Age is the name of the album. So pop punk band.
Sounds pop punk.
They definitely been up and coming and getting up there with pop punk legends. Funny story, my band Saturday Matinee. Back in the day, way back in the day, we opened up for them.
No way.
Show. And I was like, yo, that's that band we opened up for.
And they're still at it.
Because I remember giving my CD to one of the girls that was at the show. And she was like, oh yeah, we work at this mall and we play music and we play like state champs and stuff. If you have your CD, we can play it over the whatever speakers. And I was like, yeah, sure. I was like, here, take a CD.
That's sick.
But yeah, I definitely enjoyed that one. And they just recently came out with like a Christmas single as well, Christmas song. So that's been in my rotation the past few weeks.
Is there any band you would compare them to? Because I haven't heard them.
So they have just a singer and then a guitarist. So almost Newfound Glory-ish.
Okay.
Maybe meets like Starting Line.
Okay. I was guessing maybe Starting Line-esque.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, good stuff.
For me, it was Asphalt Meadows by Death Cab for Cutie.
Okay.
Huge Death Cab for Cutie fan, have been ever since the Transatlanticism album when I first heard that. And I've even went back and listened to a lot of their older stuff, which is surprisingly really good. They have the photo album that was really good. So anyway, when I found out that Asphalt Meadows was coming out, I did something I haven't done in a long time. On launch day,
yeah,
I found a store in Greenville that had it, and I went and purchased it for like $11.99. I opened it out of the cellophane wrap and popped it in, and you had that new CD smell with like the kind of like almost like you would smell like at a bookstore from the paper, from the little CD press they put in there. And yeah, it's a really great album. It's got a couple really good singles. Roman Candles is a really fast, Death Cab typical song. And I can't remember the name of the other single, but there's a lot of the other cuts off that album are really good too.
Nice.
There's one song I particularly love called I Miss Strangers.
Okay.
And kind of the idea of the song is it's almost like, it's a little reminiscent of the pandemic, but it says, these days I miss strangers more than I miss my friends.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So love it.
Here we go. Check it out. Death Cab. What do we got? Best podcast episode of the Weekly Warp Pipe.
I'm curious to see how we line up on this, Russ.
I chose an older episode. There's so many great ones. If you guys haven't listened to them, be sure to check our backlog. You can go to theweeklywarpipe.com and see them all there. But I chose episode 9, renting movies and video games back in the 90s, with buddy Retro Rick joined us.
Oh yeah, Rick was in that one. Yeah, that was a good one.
So we had a few guests throughout the podcast, and I thought he was big into VHS and all that, so it'd be fun to chat with him and get his take on renting movies. But so many fond memories of going to video rental stores and getting VHS tapes and video games for the weekend.
That's right.
And it was just great to hear what you guys stores you had, because I'm in Connecticut, you're in South Carolina, and I forget where Rick is. Arkansas. So very different what kind of mom and pop shops they have. Maybe Blockbuster Video wasn't everywhere. We had Tommy K's, and Hollywood Video came towards the end. But yeah, it's just cool browsing the aisles and seeing all the covers of the tapes. And I got plenty of games to rent for the weekend and try them out. And side story is, every year my mom would always get me a Blockbuster Video gift card.
Oh, nice.
That I would use. We would go Christmas Day to my aunt's, have dinner, and on the way home, she would swing by Blockbuster Video because it would be open on Christmas. And then I would purchase like a used video game with my gift card pretty much every year.
Brilliant. Way to go, Mom. Yeah, that's a great episode. For me, I didn't go back too far in time. Episode 31. The title is Remember Cereal Prizes Were the Best.
Oh, nice. Yeah, all the cereal box prizes.
So yeah, we talked about, all the toys you would get in cereal boxes back in the 80s and 90s. And there's just so many good ones. I had a lot of fun talking about it.
Yeah, it was good to reminisce. And some ones I had never seen before. I'm like, I should shunt these down. Let's get some of these toys.
Yeah, exactly.
So if you guys haven't heard those episodes, feel free to check them out sometime.
That's right.
Let's see. And then I think what's the next one say on your list? Because mine says best pickup of the year.
Yeah, that's definitely not right. Mine says biggest news you got.
Yeah,
or
change
for 2022.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, mine was I'm having a baby girl.
Well, you're not technically having it, but
I helped a little bit. My wife's having it,
but you're going to be supporting the one having it soon enough.
That's right. Yeah. Baby's due less than a month now, January 17th. We think we're going with Gwyneth RussLyman for the name.
There you go.
And gonna have to bring her up on video games and all the fun retro stuff for sure. So plenty of videos of me showing her Mario and trying to get her to play.
There you go. It'll be like my retro life with Tyler and his little girl.
Right. So fun.
There you go. So, bring in the new.
We'll see. This will be my first daughter. Been wanting to be a dad for some time, so happy that it happened.
You're gonna be a great dad, Russ.
Thank you.
You're a lot of fun and a good dude. So
yeah,
I imagine it's gonna go well.
Perfect.
I wish my news was that joyous. Mine was in early summer. My mom ended up breaking her hip and started showing signs of dementia, and my family's been working pretty hard to make sure she stays at home where she really wants to be, as opposed to putting her in a retirement home, as a nicer way of saying, old folks home, whatever.
Right.
So my sister basically watches her during the week, and then my brother and I rotate weekends. And that's actually part of the reason why I decided to nix our hiatus, the NES Addict channel, because spending every other weekend doing that and working a full-time job and being a parent and a dad and a husband, the weekends where I was home, the last thing I thought about was sitting down and filming a video and editing a video. Yeah. So TikTok's just much more conducive to my lifestyle right now. Putting up 15-second videos. I can do that all day.
Right.
And a quick live stream, So, that was the biggest news, I think, so far. There's a couple days left, so something could change, but let's hope not.
It hits the lottery.
Woo!
Let's go.
Then the weekly warp pipe will be brought to you from NES Addict's Pockets. Sponsored by me.
Nice. Mr. Big Bucks.
That's it.
Then we were gonna cap off ours with goals you want to try to accomplish for 2023.
Yeah. What you got, Russ?
So I'm definitely my plate's full with all the social media avenues. So main thing is I'm hoping to get this channel here monetized. We're very close.
Amazing.
In our watch hours, we reached past 1,000 subscribers. We need 4,000 watch hours. So I was hoping to do it by the end of the year. It's very close. I think we're like 300 maybe watch hours away. So if you guys want to binge watch some episodes, that'd be great. Yeah. I have a playlist that says help us get monetized.
Nice.
And you can just play it, downsize it, not even listen to it, and it'll help us.
Yeah, watch us on YouTube if at all possible, or listen to us on YouTube. You can still listen even from YouTube. Like, I can't tell you how many times I've watched a podcast and set my phone down and did dishes or, whatever the case may be. So you can still help support us like that.
Yeah. So, I'm really hoping the podcast takes off and gets more views. It's hard to track what it's getting on Spotify and iTunes currently. So I could just see the views on YouTube. Usually we average around 150 views per episode.
Okay.
Some of them made past 200 and this and that. So, and a lot of people said, "Hey, we love watching it every week, listening to it." And just hope more people get the word out for that.
Yep. We appreciate you guys that do listen.
So definitely that. And then on my main channel, RussLyman, I've been trying to post some content on there. And I'm at 11,000 and change subscribers. Hopefully we can get to, I don't know, the stretch goal be 15,000 for.
Let's go. Get in there.
2023. Maybe if the ball starts really rolling, we can hit 20K.
That'll be sick. Let's get Russ to 20, guys. Come on.
Everyone says I put out really good content on YouTube, and I mean, we're all going to depend on what's happening becoming a father. Obviously, how much time I'm going to spread between everything. So hopefully I can still put out plenty of content. But much like you said, TikTok is definitely easier to put out that short form content.
Yeah, it's just so much easier.
And I'm at 29,000 followers on there. So I'll be right behind you, hoping to hit 50K soon.
Yep. You got it. And speaking of me hitting 50K, that's my goal for 2023. It's honestly, if I'm being honest, it's my goal for 2022. I didn't think it was going to happen, but I had a video blow up in the past couple of days. It now has 831.8 thousand views. It's a stupid Home Alone video, me holding Home Alone 2 and saying, who remembers Home Alone 2? And then showing like 8 seconds worth of video. So why that blew up, I don't know. It's a garbage video, but
well, it's a holidays time, right?
And maybe that's it. Maybe it's the Home Alone. But I tried to recreate it the next day, the exact same format with the NES version, 10K. But all that to say, I'm at 45.8 thousand subs right now, and my goal is to hit 50. And if I'm being completely honest, once I hit 50, I will stop taking TikTok seriously, and it'll be just something I do on random. I kind of want to step away completely from social media, with the exception of cameoing on this podcast, which I love because I just come and hang out with my buddy Russ for 45 minutes on a Wednesday and hang out and chill, and he does the rest of the work. I don't have to do anything. So
perfect.
So it works for me. And so, yeah, I just want to say I hit 50K one day so I can look back on my life and feel like I was accomplished.
There you go.
In my
I wonder if
social media career.
Will TikTok ever get, I know you get like the YouTube play button if you get 100K. Is TikTok going to implement some plaques we getting soon or what?
I doubt it.
Can we get a little music note at 100K?
No, I don't know. Yeah, who knows? I'll probably never reach 100K because as soon as I hit 50, I'm gonna just not care at all. Yeah, I'll probably live stream on there and post stuff here and there, but it's just a goal that I want to hit, and once I'm there, I'm peacing out.
Fair enough. All right. Before we get into our next topic, we want to take a quick break and check out some other podcasts on the Dorkening Podcast Network that we think you guys should check out.
Hey, what's going on? I'm Steven.
And I'm Ron.
And we're the hosts of the Super Retro Throwback Reviews audio podcast.
If you like to hear the latest pop culture news with some smart-ass commentary as well as the latest movie reviews, then check us out.
Not to mention, we are a multi-award nominated and now an award-winning podcast. So we're doing something right.
God knows how that happened.
So check us out on all major podcasts and distributors, and check out Super Retro Throwback Reviews on all social media platforms.
Do you like gaming?
You know, this game would be better if it was a battle royale.
Do you like technology?
I bet this tech would work better if it was a battle royale. Do you like movies, TV shows, and everything else that me and Nate can't agree on?
The Last Jedi was easily the best Star Wars film I have ever seen.
That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my entire life. Everybody in this room is stupid now because of you.
Talking Gaming and Tech is a bi-weekly podcast where we cover the latest, greatest in gaming and tech.
Now part of the Dorkening Podcast Network.
Talking Gaming and Tech is a podcast produced by Tech Prime Media. You can find us on YouTube and all other social media platforms. You can find Talking Gaming and Tech on Apple Podcasts or wherever else you get your podcasts from.
This podcast is filmed live.
If you want to check us out while we're filming live, remember to follow links on social media and your comment might be read on air.
Greetings and shabebans. We are the Retro Reductibus Cephala Podcast, a long-form bi-weekly show that celebrates all the things that made growing up awesome.
Well, that sounds good, but I don't know what all those words mean.
I think what Parasite seems trying to say is that on Retro Reductibus, we explore a range of retro goodness, from toys, video games, and movies, to cartoons, and even snacks and school lunches.
Oh.
And we do it all with a positive spin, a slew of killer guests, and some very adult language.
And you know what else is cool?
No.
This crazy show is part of the Dorkening Podcast Network with new episodes every Tentacle Tuesday.
What's that?
And if waiting 2 weeks for a new episode gives you a sad, know that we drop bonus episodes all the time, like the off-format Crow's Nest and an interview series we call The Brig.
You can listen to Retro Redoctopus on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, or any app that's cool enough to carry the only show that celebrates all the things that make growing up awesome.
And we're back. All right, so this will be fun. I dove down into the warp pipe, and I got some of the best of in 1982 and 1992. And we could do a little bit of comments on here of the similar things that we answered. So best video game of 1982 was Dig Dug by Namco. This one certainly was fun. I played it a ton on the Atari 2600. But it was also in the arcade as well.
Yeah, I think I have Dig Dug. Is it Dig Dug 2 on the NES?
Yeah, possibly could be on there.
Yeah, I can't remember. It's a Dig Dug something, I think. So,
but I imagine this one was probably referring to the arcade.
Oh, probably so. Yeah,
yeah. But basically, you play as this little guy, and it's like a pump, like a hose or something, and you see these creatures under the dirt, and you can shoot your hose at, pump them up, and then they explode.
Yeah, what an amazing thing to be able to do, right?
And yeah, it's just fun, rinse and repeat. There's more, and you could also push rocks and smash them. I don't know.
Dig Dug.
You
didn't choose it. 1982 did.
That's it. Best movie in 1982, according to IMDb, sorted by popularity. Okay, I didn't dive too deep into this, so this is according to them, was Blade Runner with Harrison Ford.
Blade Runner.
It had an 8.1 rating and an 84 Metacritic score.
There you go.
So if you guys checked out Blade Runner, and it had recently its sequel with Ryan Reynolds that came out a few years ago.
I don't think I've seen either of them.
Yeah, it's tough for some people to watch the original one because it's very rainy, like almost slow paced. It's supposed to be, like cyberpunk future-y atmosphere. A lot of times I put it on and I would fall asleep.
Oh, wow.
So because it's the whole entire thing's rainy and you're like so relaxed and you're like, all right. But definitely got a cult following for sure.
That's cool.
Best TV series in 1982, 60 Minutes. Who knew? 60 Minutes in American television news magazine broadcast on CBS.
That's funny.
But tons of people were tuning in, I guess, to see what was going on with the world. It was just a fun format, I guess. They always had their transitions had like a big like stop clock, and it'd be like tick, 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 tick.
Yeah, that's so classic. That's synonymous with that show.
And it says like they still use that like currently or whatever.
That's
so I was like, okay, stick to the guns.
That's right.
We got best music album in 1982, according to bestalbumsever.com.
Sounds legit.
Sounds legit to me. And that was, there's a few, but Michael Jackson's Thriller was number one on that. Number of the Beast, Iron Maiden, and Kate Bush, The Dreaming.
Which I think we all know more
right.
about Kate Bush now than we've ever known.
I know, that's what I said. I was like, hey, everyone should know that name now.
That's right.
Thanks to Stranger Things.
Thank you, Stranger Things.
So yeah, that was 1982. I was one.
I was one as well. All right, we got 1992 next. Best video game in 1992, despite the Super Nintendo riding high. The 1992 best-selling video game might come as a complete surprise to any Nintendo fan, but it was Sonic the Hedgehog 2, available only for the Sega Mega Drive. And I guess probably the Genesis here in America.
Right.
Sonic 2 managed to sell a whopping 5 million units worldwide, with the vast majority of these sales coming from USA and Europe. That's crazy. Adjusted for inflation, Sonic the Hedgehog 2 made Sega over $865 million, which is pretty impressive considering the controversial state in which the Blue Blur finds himself today as a Nintendo product.
I know it.
Sonic the Hedgehog 2 was the best-selling game in Europe and the USA. Wow.
So, yeah. I mean, I guess it must have been the anticipation, maybe you could play as Tails. So everyone that had like a younger brother, they're like, oh, parents are like, well, here it's 2-player. Like we'll get
that
you
marketing where like you can see Sonic and Tails with like the shadow of them, but you don't quite see what Tails is.
Right.
That image alone, I think, sold some copies. I will say that when I bought my Super Nintendo, I was highly questioning my decision on the way to Toys R Us because of Sonic 2.
I never had a Sega growing up. My neighbor did, so I lucked out. I would go over his house and we play Sonic over there, Sonic 2, X-Men, all the Sega games, and then I had the Super Nintendo. So
yeah, and all right, so moving on, the best movie in 1992 according to IMDb popularity, the second and last Home Alone ever made.
Home Alone 2.
Home Alone 2. I was waiting for dramatic pause there, Russ.
Perfect.
With Macaulay Culkin, 6.8 stars and a 46 Metacritic score, which seems a little low.
It was low, but I think
this biased opinion here.
Right. I guess it had popularity due to Christmas movie and people seeing that. Maybe the Metacritic score was adults that didn't enjoy it. Who knows? I had to bring my kid to this.
I remember my sister took me to see that here in Greenville, and this was like one of the best 2 months of my life. I got my Super Nintendo right at Thanksgiving, and then Home Alone 2 come out right before the holidays. So it was probably, I think I saw it around Thanksgiving too. So it was like this amazing like colliding of the titans for these two things I love, and a couple things I'll say about it real quick was the scene where Daniel Stern is getting shocked, and for a couple I guess rolls, or what's the word I'm trying to say? Clips, maybe
takes.
Yeah,
frames.
Frames. That's
okay.
Frames. Thank you. It shows like a skeleton getting shocked instead.
Oh yes.
I almost wet my pants. I laughed so hard.
That is a good one that they put in there quickly.
That was it didn't quite really fit, but it caught you off guard the first time you see it, so it was hilarious. And then the other thing I'll say is they had a great marketing campaign through Hardee's where you could get a Happy Meal with a little cup and some little paper characters, which surprisingly I was into. I would have usually probably thought paper characters were stupid, but I did collect them. And 4 really amazing posters, which I've mentioned before.
Nice. There we go.
All right. The last piece to this 1992, the best music album among rock and roll's hottest sellers in 1992 were Pearl Jam, 10. They sold 3.6 million. Nirvana's Nevermind, 2.8 million. That kind of blows my mind a little bit that Nirvana didn't outsell Pearl Jam. And the Red Hot Chili Peppers' Blood Sugar Sex Magic, 2.5 million, according to SoundScan, the company whose computerized sales data system is used to pull together Broadway's weekly top 200 chart. It's not like I'm trying to read an ad, but I'm just trying to read this. So of those 3 albums, I would say Nirvana, Nevermind, and Red Hot Chili Peppers' Blood Sugar Sex Magic were my favorite. That one had Under the Bridge.
Yeah.
And then Nevermind had that super famous cover of the kid in the pool, right?
Yes.
Chasing the dollar on the hook.
That's it. Yeah, that's the one I had. I never had the Pearl Jam album. And I don't think I owned the Red Hot Chili Pepper one either, but I knew, whatever MTV played for those singles. So I knew Under the Bridge.
So what's funny about that one is I didn't buy Blood Sugar Sex Magic until 1999 because I got Californication and loved it so much that I went back and bought the old one.
Oh, I see. And you're like, all right, let me do a deep dive.
Yep, that's what I did.
I did hear a story surface that the naked baby on the cover of Nirvana's Nevermind is now obviously like an adult, and I think
still naked.
I think he tried suing someone for like exploitation of like him being a baby and being I don't know, naked. Like obviously he wanted some publicity from it or whatever.
I mean,
quit being a jerk. I'm like, just be like, hey, I'm the naked baby on Nirvana. Like that's cool.
I don't know though. I mean, I kind of get his point. Like you just showed this dude's dick to the world. Didn't ask his permission,
I guess,
and almost drowned him in the process.
That is true. I'm like, did they really throw him in here? Just took a photo? Sure.
Anyway,
You skipped over one, so we'll finish.
Oh, I
finish
did.
Up.
Oh, sorry. Best TV series.
Best TV series, 1992, according to IMDb popularity. Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Make it so.
I didn't watch this.
My friend
didn't
watch
Ant,
Star Trek: Next Generation.
My friend Ant loves Star Trek and puts it on. I feel it moves slow, like so slow. Like there's, I don't know, no action like in it, right? I don't know.
There is action. So here's the deal. If you asked me in 2022, I probably would have never watched it.
Okay.
But in 1992, back in the day before all these streaming services, you had to watch what was on TV or you didn't watch TV.
That is true. Okay.
So there were many times when all that was on was Star Trek Next Generation, and I found myself to actually enjoy many of the episodes. I liked Worf. I liked Data. Geordie LaForge, reading Rainbow.
Great cast for sure. Great cast. I will give it.
Who wore a hair barrette over his eyes, and I don't know what that thing was. But I thought there was some interesting elements to that show. They had a room almost like the Danger Room on X-Men, where it could clone things and you could practice fighting and stuff.
Yeah,
I don't know. There was the Borg were really creepy. I always thought the Borg was weird. They flew around in a big cube.
Oh right, yeah.
I am 7 of 9. Anyway, yeah, I liked it. Star Trek Next Generation. I thought it was classic.
Fair enough. Maybe I'll give it a go then.
Give it a go.
Give it a go.
When you're sitting up with the baby,
That's
at
true.
night, just pop in some Next Generation.
We were discussing possibly rewatching Lost. I was like, we're gonna have a month off. Maybe we could watch Lost again.
So, fun fact: I've never seen Lost.
It's a trip. I don't know if I would have been able to watch it when it was on air, because when I watched it, it had already completed. And I was just watching on Netflix. So I'd be like, oh, another episode. Let me watch another episode. I got to know what happens. Like waiting week to week would probably drive me crazy with all the mystery and stuff that was behind the series.
I can see that. You know what show my wife and I binged when we first went through, our first daughter and we were up late nights.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a little embarrassed to admit it, but for the sake of entertainment, I will. We watched all of Heart of Dixie on Netflix, which is a heartwarming show about a little girl that goes back to her hometown to become a doctor and take her father's place.
There you go. My wife does enjoy putting on, if she wants to fall asleep like late at night and she wants something on, she'll either watch Seinfeld or Frasier.
Oh, I love both those shows.
I was like, hey, I watch those. So sometimes she'll be asleep and then I'll watch 2 or 3 episodes and be like, all right.
See, now y'all got to watch the Goldbergs, though.
Right. Yeah, I think she'll enjoy that one. So we'll have to check it out. So that was it. Episode, what did I say? 38?
38.
38. Yep, that's up there. Yeah. Well, Happy New Year to everyone. Much appreciate you guys hanging with us for 2022 and good things to come for 2023.
That's right.
I don't know. Anything else? Any last words?
I don't know about you, but I'm feeling 22 for all the Swifties out there.
Perfect. All right, guys. As always, I'm RussLyman. Keep your world fun bit by bit.
Happy New Year's, guys.